Hey, I hope you're all keeping well. Somewhat perhaps surprising live stream to make an announcement, and that is that the Mythical Ireland Monograph No. 1 has arrived from the printer somewhat earlier than expected. I wasn't expecting it until early next week. So there you go. Just want to make sure that, as usual, I'm always wary. Okay, I am live on YouTube, and it appears I am also live on Facebook. So there you go. Yeah, got a surprise doorbell ring early this morning, and it was the delivery man from Anglo Printers with a couple of boxes of books. So I'm delighted to announce that Mythical Ireland Monograph No. 1, which is hopefully the first in a series of such monographs, is printed and is here now. I'm going to show it to you in a moment, of course. But just to say that I unboxed it earlier on and I made a video, and that video is available for patrons at the moment at patreon.com/Mythical Ireland. So the reason I didn't do a live stream until now is because as many of you will know, I also have a full-time job and I'm just on my lunch break. So there you go. Anyway, just to explain that the thinking behind the monograph series is to present in a different form factor, to present work that doesn't come in this sort of, large, heavy format of, my traditionally published non-fiction work, Island of the Setting Sun, Mythical Ireland, Newgrange, Monument to Immortality, and Drone Henge. And to present it in a form factor that is smaller, as it were, and more affordable, as it were, but no less academic, as it were, no less scholarly. So the approach of the monographs is that they're presented in an academic style, so extensive footnotes, comprehensive bibliography, examining all of as many of the sources of information around the story of the Salmon of Knowledge as possible. Interestingly, actually, the story is only found in manuscript form in one manuscript, Macníomhartha Finn, the Boyhood Deeds of Finn. And it's a very, very short account, but there are more lavish versions of the story in oral form, in folklore, which I find very interesting. But nonetheless, what I've tried to do with the monograph is to explore the story from the point of view of examining Finn. And, he had a name before he was Finn, Fionn, Find. Of course, the spellings of everything in Irish mythology vary. And if you look at the manuscripts, you'll see there are so many spelling variations and mistakes, actually, which are generally corrected by the scholars who are, translating. Who knows who is in the house on YouTube? Grace Walker says, morning. Good morning to you. It is just afternoon here in Ireland, and this is going to be a short live stream because I'm on my lunch break. So forgive me for flying in and out. Finn's name before he was Finn was Jevne, and I examine the significance of the name Jevne, and then the significance of this figure Finnegas, Finneachus, Finn the seer, Finn the scholar, Finn the basically he's like a druid. He's like the wise man that Finn comes to help cook the fish, and Finn ends up being the one who gains the knowledge of the Salmon of Knowledge, etc., etc. I won't spoil it because I don't want to spoil aspects of the book, but it's interesting because Finnegas, has the same name in a way, which is Finn, which means the fair, bright one, sometimes scholars maintain that refers to, that they're fair haired. But I like the late Professor Dahi O'Hogan's take on it, which is that it actually refers to fin as in find, as in knowledge, wisdom, a wisdom tradition in the Boyne Valley, in the prehistoric period. I really like that idea. So from there, I go on to talk about where is Fiach's Pool, the location where the Salmon of Knowledge was caught. I'm not sure. I look, maybe there is work, and if there is, and it's out there, and I haven't seen it, that's my mistake. But I haven't seen a work that specifies, that pinpoints the location of Fiach's Pool. So I've tried to do that as best I can in the monograph. I've also then gone on to say, well, what is the meaning of Lin Fiach's Pool? What is the meaning of this word Fiach? And also, it's also referred to as Lin Rush, meaning the pool of knowledge or great knowledge. And how does that connect in with the deities of the Boyne Valley? Finn's revelation, or Jevna's revelation, because he's Jevna up until the time he consumes the salmon, and then Finnegas gives him the name Finn, and that's the name that he has from then on. Jevna's revelation is that he actually procures 3 arcane gifts, which are the Chenim Lija, Imbus Forestna, and Dicatul Dicaniv. And all of these are examined, each one at a time, from the point of view of what the linguistic scholars, the philologists, have said in relation to what the meaning of those 3 talents are. And of course, the earliest attestation of those in the manuscripts is from Sanas Cormac's glossary, which dates back actually probably to the late 10th, early 11th century. Just want to say hello to a few people. Leon Leak says it's slunch time. Yes, slouch time. Jerome in Minnesota is up very early. Am I right? On the East Coast it's 7 a.m. Minnesota, I'm not sure exactly where Minnesota is or what time zone it is. A very good morning, Jerome. Good to see you here. Marianne Kinja is in the house. Hello, Marianne. And I got your comment on the YouTube saying that you hadn't been able to participate live, but you were catching up, and that's great. And that's the wonderful thing about having the videos available afterwards. Daisy Peters is also saying good morning, and I think Daisy is in Brazil. Good morning, Daisy. Grace Walker is in the house. Hello, Grace. You're very welcome along. Federica Guy is in the house, and Federica, I'm glad to, I hope you don't mind me saying, Federica, that Federica received Return to Segish in the post. Was that yesterday or the day before? I think it was yesterday, was it? Erica Rivertree's in the house. Hello, Erica. Great to see you. Good morning to you. Robin Rickman is in Pennsylvania. Good morning to you. Sorry, I'm trying to show some and then it's giving me others. I do apologize. Central US, 6 a.m., says Jerome. An early riser, or maybe you don't consider 6 a.m. to be early. And then I talk about Killing the Monster, which is about the Mata, the story of the monster. How does the story of the monster of the Boyne connect with the story of the Salmon of Knowledge? Find out by reading Mythical Ireland Monograph Series number 1, Finn and the Salmon of Knowledge, Mythology, Toponymy, and Cosmology. Just in case you haven't encountered this word before, toponymy is the study of place names. And so in that regard, the place names Fiach's Pool, Lin Fiach, Lin Russ, Kletchik, and the other place names of the story and its setting are studied. Cosmology in this sense, it doesn't refer to cosmology as in the structure and the order of the universe. Rather, this is sort of mythological or religious cosmology, the study of beginnings, how a society in mythological terms believed that it began. And so there is a little bit of cosmology in there too. And then, unfortunately, we have to talk about the death of Fionn because there are accounts of how he came to part this world. And fascinatingly, that occurs on the banks of the Boyne at Brunabonia. The pretty much in the same location as he had received the knowledge of the Salmon of Knowledge. There's a comprehensive list, there's a comprehensive bibliography, which runs to 5 pages. And the footnotes, actually, this is where the footnotes and references, this is where it gets sort of, it does, I hope, live up to academic standards, in that there are a total of 240 footnotes and references, I think. 246, not too much shy of 250. And I'm delighted with how it turned out. So this is a new form factor for me, as I said. So just to give you an example, if I can quickly grab a copy of Island of the Setting Sun, which is my largest book to date, co-authored with Richard Moore. That's a hefty tome. It runs to 330 pages. It's printed in full colour. Well, so is the monograph, in fairness. But this is litho printing. It costs, to buy Island of the Setting Sun, is €35. It represents 8 years of work. It's printed with the old French flaps, glossy cover, etc., etc. So this form factor is great for, this is basically a thesis. Fine. But what about having smaller, digestible bits and pieces, Not... If you wanted an introduction, if you wanted to be introduced to the mythology of Ireland, this is how I'm hoping that you will be sort of guided in. So, as I say, in an affordable and readable, this is in total, including the footnotes, this is 70 pages. And it's printed A5, which is half of A4. Nice, small, convenient format. And you see, the idea is that there's going to be a series. I don't know how many are going to be in that series, and that just depends on how much time I get to write and to research. Work is underway on the second monograph. The subject of that will be revealed to patrons on patreon.com/Mythical Ireland later today. I have begun work on the second one. But the idea is then that there'll be a whole series of these. And if you don't want to, immerse yourself so thoroughly as to invest in Island of the Setting Sun and some of the other works, that you can get smaller, bite-sized chunks, as it were, at a more affordable price point. And then if you like it, you can buy them individually as they come along. And the plan is that they will all be in this format. In other words, they'll all be A5. They'll all have the same typography and layout. And they'll all have Mythical Ireland Monograph series number. Obviously, the number will change. And I think I would keep the covers black, to be honest. I like the black, with different photographs, obviously, on the front to differentiate them. So that's the hope. And there's even, I created a map that's figure 1 in the book to show you some of the locations specified in the text to help you find your way around and to try and pinpoint, as I said, the location of a Linfeax pool. So Robin Rickman says, I finished Return to Segish this morning. Today is my last day of class with my homecoming group. 7 of my kids are moving up to challenge our next step. It is an end and a new beginning. Well, good luck in the new beginning, Robin. Hope it goes great for you. Hope you enjoyed Return to Segish. Pardon me, I'm going to sneeze. But I have taken my... excuse me. I have taken my antihistamine today. That's probably a little bit of hay fever. Lara Herbert is in the house. Hello, Lara. As is Mandy McCurl. Jamie Davern is in Maine. Good morning / yes, definitely. It's definitely morning in Maine, yes. Adele Perth is saying good evening. Good evening to you, Adele. Hope you're well. Great to see you. Grace Walker is in the house. Jim Shine is in Indianapolis. Good morning to you, Jim. It's just afternoon here in Ireland. Anyway, I'm going to leave it at that because I have to rush away. If you want to buy a copy, all copies dispatched from the Mythical Ireland headquarters here in Drogheda in Ireland are signed by the author. The website is mythicalireland.com, and you just go to the gallery and shop and go into the books section, and you'll see it in there. I will paste a link anyway, just to help you. Now, at the moment, it says pre-order. Obviously, that will change. I'll leave it at pre-order for the moment, just to confuse, because when I change the information and I take the pre-order out, the link will also change. So just for convenience, I'll paste that in as a link on the Facebook. On the Facebook stream, and pardon me while I just mute that, and I'll paste it in as a comment on the YouTube as well. So hopefully you can all see that. So there you go. That's book number 8. If you count it as a book, the total turnaround time, by the way, on that, from the moment I began writing it until the moment it went to print was 10 days. Fairly tight turnaround, but in fairness, it was written during a period when I was off work. I was on holidays from work, and it was a fairly intense 10 days. There were 10 fairly full days. Some of them, it was 12 to 14 hours per day working on it. So I imagine that the next one will be a little bit longer because, I'll be writing it in my spare time, not during the day. And I just want to paste that in as a comment also on the Mythical Ireland community, where Deirdre Wadding is looking forward to it. Great stuff, Deirdre. And Janet Moran in Boston says hi. Hello, Janet. I'm not seeing the community comments on the stream here on Melon app, and that's something that has been bugging me. I'm not sure why, but there you go. In the meantime, I will possibly do another live from the landscape over the weekend. I hope you enjoyed, if you managed to catch it, the live stream on Facebook from Newgrange yesterday evening. And Monday, I'm planning to go back to the regular Live Irish Myths series and to continue our discussion of the Tuatha Dé Danann deities. I am planning that the conversation series will return. It's just I found that it was becoming very time consuming, and so I just wanted a little break from it. But I'm going to line up a few more guests for that, so that'll be back soon enough. In the meantime, I hope you have a great Friday, wherever you are in the world. Good afternoon, good evening, good night, good morning. What film is that from? Jim Carrey. That's the one where he's in this fantasy world, and it's been televised 24/7. What's that one called? I can't remember. Was it that one, or was it Liar, Liar? It's definitely Jim Carrey. Good afternoon, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Can't remember which one it was. Anyway, I hope you have a great day. Good afternoon from Mythical Ireland, and don't forget to put in your order. By the way, I am being genuine about this. This is a limited print run. Not mind you, there's a quick turnaround on the printing of them, so I can get more done if needs be. Get your copy in there. The Truman Show. Thank you, Sarah Goddard, for saving my blushes there. I couldn't remember. The Truman Show is exactly the one. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed yourselves, and I'll see you over the weekend, and if not, see you on Monday for Live Irish Myths, episode number, I believe it's 142. There you go. Cheerio.